now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This segment of the news is brought to you by BTC, powered by Lime.
Reaction coming in on the verdict handed down in the brutal death of an 11-year-old boy. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Charisma Robinson with the weekend edition of The Bahamas Tonight. The jury handing down a guilty verdict in the Kofi Goodman murder trial, and now the prosecution could be seeking the death penalty. Our Fern Carey has been following this case and tells us how Goodman reacted when he learned his fate.
Accused murderer Kofi Goodman reacted violently in court Friday evening after the 11-woman one-man jury all found him guilty of killing 11-year-old Marco Archer back in September of 2011. Surprisingly, Goodman had been smiling moments earlier as the verdict was read and as he stood addressing the court. But seconds later, tensions rose in the courtroom as Goodman, who appeared angry, threatened Archer's family members who were sitting in the public gallery, then the prosecution team, and even the jurors. He then tried to jump out of the prisoner's dock, even though he still had shackles on his ankles, prompting police to move quickly to control him. But Goodman's temper tantrum did not end there. As police led him out of the courtroom, he spat at one of the jurors, who appeared shocked. Persons sitting in the court also appeared disturbed. Outside court, Archer's family was happy with the juror's verdict.
Actually, this is the first step into the family healing. This doesn't bring back Marco. This doesn't bring back him at all, but this is the first step towards us starting to heal and finding a way to live with the fact that he's gone. So, no, this doesn't bring back, but it gives some relief to know that he wasn't taken from us and the person who did it didn't pay the price. And it's obvious now that Marco was a sacrifice. He was a sacrifice to get that man off of the street so that he don't do it to anybody else. And he does not deserve to be on the street to touch any other child, any other innocent child. So thank God. We thank God for strength and endurance. We thank God for the judge. He has patience like Job. God has to be in him. We thank God for the prosecution team, Gaskin, Bradway, and Taylor. Thank God for them. The jurors, we thank God. God was on this from the beginning to the end. From the beginning to the end. We had doubts and but guess what? God was on this from the beginning to the end. No doubt. The lies and everything that happened throughout this trial with the defense lawyer, nothing worked.
Now, the prosecution team will be seeking the death penalty. In the meantime, the court has ordered a psychiatric and a probation report for Kofi Goodman. Goodman has requested he be evaluated by his personal psychiatrist after informing the court that he felt he would not be fairly assessed. Meantime, he will be sentenced on September 22nd. Fern Carey, ZNS News.
Now that Kofi Goodman has been convicted, National Security Minister Dr. Bernard Nottage says he will move ahead with his commitment to bring about legislation for the creation of a sex offenders registry. While in opposition at the onset of this case, Dr. Nottage was adamant on creating Marco's Law and possibly a sex offenders list.
In the course of the next several months, we'll develop the legislation in conjunction with those who are involved with the family courts and those who are involved with the Department of Social Services program, which is designed for families. And it is my expectation that by the time the year is out, we will at least have something before the Parliament. And I expect that in the very near future that we shall pass the relevant legislation.
And you're still committed to calling it Marco's Law?
Well, that'll be a name for it. I would expect it to be known by the pseudonym Marco's Law.
Also in crime news this weekend, a female apprehended during a robbery attempt. A 15-year-old girl is in custody after she was arrested for attempting to rob an establishment in the area of Blue Hill Road and the East-West Highway. Police say around 12:48 On Friday afternoon, the teen entered the store as a customer. However, once inside, police say she produced a shotgun and demanded cash. She was unsuccessful in her demand and was reportedly subdued by a security officer. The teen was arrested. Police also confiscated the shotgun and a number of shotgun shells. Meantime, National Security Minister Dr. Bernard Nottage told reporters today that he is not at all surprised about the active participation of women and teen girls in criminal activity. He says in this fight against crime, focus must also be placed on our young women from a social perspective.
Much to the displeasure of some, that much of the crime that is committed in our country by young men are committed because they have to satisfy the desires of young women. I'm not surprised at all about the active participation of young women in criminal activity because if you look at how our society has developed over the last several years, women have become much more assertive. Women have been willing and able to take on jobs that only men were used to do, construction jobs and others. And so I'm not surprised at all.
While police continue to look at new crime trends, Assistant Commissioner of Police Leon Bethel says there is a need for tighter security at business establishments across the island, as that teen girl was able to enter the store with a weapon, leaving employees and patrons vulnerable. Just this week, ACP Bethel says senior police officials met with a number of security chiefs to forge a greater partnership to ensure that certain properties are properly secured.
Any concerns that security have, they will communicate with us and we will check with them. We'll lock as a team, ensuring that whatever property is supposed to be guarded, it is a safe property, because the police will be checking before anything happens. You'll see a lot more of that going forward from now, because of the partnership that we have forged with the security officers.
ACP Bethel says police continue to encourage business owners to ensure that necessary security measures are in place. Meantime, police are trying to locate a missing teen. He is 17-year-old Cordero Ash of Claridge Road. Ash was last seen on Tuesday, July 30th, between the hours of 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. at Montague Beach. He was dressed in navy basketball pants. He is known to frequent Kemp and Carib Roads, along with the Mackey Street area. Anyone with information on the whereabouts of Ash is asked to contact police at 919-911 or Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS. Well, the involvement of Haitian nationals in crime raising concerns. Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell responding to recent reports from a Haitian diplomat that criminals deported from the Bahamas born to Haitian parents could end up engaging in criminal activities. The Haitian Secretary of State for Public Safety, Reginald Delva, telling Caribbean News Now that his government has had a lot of difficulty dealing with convicted criminals deported to Haiti after having migrated to the U.S. from the Bahamas, where they were born. Delva says the issue is that the deportees have never been in Haiti before, they don't speak Creole, and they don't have any ties there. But Minister Mitchell says the laws of the land must be followed.
The Bahamas only accepts people back into the country as deportees who are Bahamian citizens. Now, the issue is this: the fact that you're born in the Bahamas doesn't make you a citizen of the Bahamas by birth. Your parents have to be Bahamian. And if your parents are not Bahamian, you're not a citizen of the Bahamas by birth. You have a right to apply when you're 18 at your 18th birthday for citizenship of the Bahamas. So anybody who's in the States, who's in that position, will not be accepted back to this country. Where they do have citizenship by birth is the Republic of Haiti, and so therefore they have to go back to that country.
And authorities still looking into that fire that destroyed a boat some 15 miles off New Providence on Friday. Police received reports around 3:45 indicating the vessel, a 38-foot Bertram cruiser, was on fire in the area of West Bay Street and Orange Hill. The crew was reportedly en route to Chub Key when the blaze erupted. The vessel was completely destroyed, however, the crew members were not injured. Still to come in the weekend report, the National Training Agency ready to launch and a local business making waves on the international scene.